Hey everyone, welcome back. This will be my 2022 MLB season open video for the Thursday and Friday games. So we have the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley Field. Corbin Burnes versus Kyle Hendricks. I will be going with the Milwaukee Brewers to win. This is the lineup. The lineups. Yeah, so I think the Brewers are going to win here because Cubs have been struggling. They're kind of going through a rebuild right now. Brewers, I actually think the Brewers will win their division. They've got Willie Adames, Jackie Bradley, Lorenzo Cain, and just Christian Yelich, Colton Wong, a lot of very good players. So I think they'll be able to win against the Cubs. Then we have the New York Mets versus the Washington Nationals. The Mets have been making a lot of moves this offseason. I know that both Scherzer and Jacob deGrom are dealing with injuries. So they have Tyler McGill versus Patrick Corbin. And I'm going to give it to the Mets here. Here's the lineups. And the Mets have Pete Alonso. They have J.D. Davis, Francisco Lindor, Jeff McNeil, Brandon Nimmo. And I know Pete Alonso during spring training was in a car accident, and that was really bad for him. But he survived, and it was just very tough. But Pete Alonso's a great player. He won the Home Run Derby last year, and the Mets have a really good roster they've made with Scherzer. They signed him to the big contract, and then they also have, again, deGrom, but he's injured. Hopefully he gets better, and Scherzer also is dealing with an injury right now, so I hope they get better, and I think Steve Cohen has been making a lot of moves. He's the Mets owner, and I just think the Mets are going to beat the Nationals. Then we have the Cleveland Guardians versus the Kansas City Royals. Shane Bieber versus Zach Greinke, Kauffman Stadium. There's the time. Here's the lineup card. And Shane Bieber is a really good pitcher on the Guardians, and Zach Greinke, he's a good pitcher too, so it should be a very good pitching matchup. And I'm gonna give it to Kansas City here. I just think they're the better team, and they're gonna do well. They have Andrew Benintendi, they have Whit Merrifield, who has been doing really well. They also have Salvador Perez, and then we have Jose Ramirez just signed a contract earlier today, a big contract with the Guardians. So I think it was $135 million for 5 years, but I'm giving it to the Royals. Then we have Pittsburgh versus St. Louis. JT Brubaker versus Adam Wainwright. And Adam Wainwright, he's a very clutch veteran. And then they have Nolan Arenado. They have Paul DeJong. They have Paul Goldschmidt. They have Yadier Molina, who's a very clutch catcher that they've had. And then here's the lineup for Pittsburgh. And I'm giving it to the Cardinals. They're the better team, and they will win. And then we have Cincinnati Reds versus Atlanta Braves taking on the current World Series champion Max Fried versus Tyler Mathale. And they will get Ronald Acuna back, Ozzy Albies, Orlando Arcia, Adam Duvall, Marcelo Zuna, and Austin Riley. They have a really good hitting. Then here's the lineup for Cincinnati. So, yeah, I think Atlanta will win. They're the defending champs. And then we have Houston versus the Angels. Valdez versus Ohtani. Ohtani's the former AL Cy Young Award winner, and he also, now with the new rule, he can stay in even after he's removed as pitcher as DH. So that'll be interesting to watch. And the Angels have Mike Trout, Anthony Rendon, Jared Walsh, and Joe Adall. So they have a really good team, a young team. The Angels actually should do pretty well this season, but I'm going to give it to the Astros here. Yeah, I'm going to give it to the Astros, even though the Astros were in the cheating scandal. I'm going to give it to the Astros. Then we have the Padres versus Diamondbacks. Darvish versus Madison Bumgarner. And it's at Chase Field. I'm going to give it to the Padres here. The Padres, well, they play against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers are my team. I just am going to give it to the Padres because they have a better team. They kind of struggled last year when they could have done better, but they're a young team. They're talented. I think they've got Jake Cronenworth, Trent Grisham, Eric Hosmer, Fernando Tatis, so they have a good team there. And then Boston versus New York got postponed, and Seattle versus Minnesota got postponed, but they moved them to the Friday schedule, so I'll go into my predictions for the Friday games as well, and then I'll also say my division winners. So we have Boston versus the Yankees. Very good rivalry matchup here. We have Nathan Eovaldi coming back from injury, taking on Garrett Cole. And it should be a great matchup to watch. Here's the lineup for the Yankees. Here's the lineup for the Red Sox. And it'll be interesting to see Bobby Delbeck. He has been performing really well during spring training for the Red Sox. And I'm going to give it to the Red Sox here. I just think the Red Sox can beat the Yankees, and I'm a little bit confused why the Blue Jays and Yankees are so high up on the odds list. I personally like the Red Sox, so I will give it to the Red Sox here. Then we have this White Sox versus Tigers. Lucas Giolito versus Eduardo Rodriguez, who used to be on the Red Sox. And Lucas Giolito is a really good pitcher. He did really well last year, even though he was dealing with some injuries. The Tigers have a young team. They're kind of going through a rebuild, but they have some good pieces. Like they have... I know they have Spencer Torkelson, and I know they have, they have a veteran in Miguel Cabrera. They also have Nico Goodrum, Robbie Grossman, Jonathan Shoup. They have, and then the White Sox, they have Tim Anderson. They have Yasmani Grandal. They have Eloy Jimenez, Yonan Moncada, Luis Robert, and they have a really good team, and so I'm going to give it to the White Sox. Tigers are still going through a rebuild there. Then we have Milwaukee versus Chicago again. I'm going to give it to Milwaukee again. Brandon Woodruff versus Justin Steele. Then we have the Athletics taking on the Phillies. The Athletics are going through a rebuild and have gotten rid of a lot of their really good players. We have Frankie Montas versus Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola is coming back from an injury. They have a lot of good players in Didi Gregorius, Bryce Harper, Rice Hoskins, and JT Realmuto. And I'm going to give it to Nola. He's just a really good pitcher, and I think that pitching will win the game for them, so I'm giving it to the Phillies. Then we have Baltimore versus Tampa Bay. Baltimore, they have John Means. John Means is a really good pitcher versus Shane McClellan. And they have, here's the lineup card. Wander Franco should be really good for the Rays here. He's a rookie. He's a very good player. They have Brendan Lau. They have Randy Arozarena. They have Austin Meadows. They have Joey Wendell, Mike Zunino. And the Rays are a very good, very Moneyball-oriented team, taking on the Orioles, who are going through a rebuild. They have Trey Mancini, Ryan Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins, Anthony Santander. And, Orioles going through a rebuild. And then we have the Dodgers taking on the Rockies. Walker Buehler versus Kyle Freeland. And the Dodgers, we have a really good team this year. We got Freddie Freeman. They have Austin Barnes, Matt Beatty, Bellinger, Betts, Lux, McKinney, McKinstry, Pollock, Raleigh, Rios, Smith, Turner. Really good team, and I think they're going to win. Then we have the Mariners and the Twins, two teams that have been making the Mariners have been making some moves and look like they could get the wild card, and we don't have their lineup. So, but I think the Mariners will beat the Twins. Then we have the Marlins versus the Giants, Alcantara versus Webb. I think the Giants will win here. Marlins are going through a rebuild, but they have a young team. They're pretty talented. Giants have a mixture of veterans and rookies. They did really well last season and were able to win the NL West. Mets versus Nationals. Give it to the Mets again here. Yeah, I'll give it to the Mets. They haven't listed it, but Josiah Gray's going for the Nationals. Then we have Texas versus Toronto. John Gray versus Jose Barrios. And I'm going to give it to the Blue Jays here. Jose Barrios is a really good pitcher. They also have a really young team. They're talented. They have Bo Bichette, Kevin Biggio, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Hernandez, Springer, and Springer was involved with the Astros in the cheating scandal. And then the Rangers, they should have a good team. Willie Calhoun. They also got Seager, but I'm not seeing him listed here. It should be a high-scoring game, but I'm going to go with the Blue Jays. Then we have Cincinnati versus Atlanta again, and it's Charlie Morton with the Braves. We'll give it to the Braves. And then Houston versus Angels again. Jake Odorizzi versus Angels. Haven't said who they're going to pitch, but we'll give it to the Astros again, even though I don't like that they cheated during the cheating scandal. And we have the Padres versus the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly versus Sean Manaea. Sean Manaea they just got from the Athletics during spring training. And I'll have to give it to the Padres. And so for my predictions for division winners, I think that the White Sox will win their division. I think that the Tampa Bay Rays will win their division. I think that the Brewers will win their division. I think that the Dodgers will win their division. And I think that the Braves will win their division. I think that the Astros will win their division. And Braves, Astros, Brewers, Astros, Brewers, and let me go here. Yeah, okay. So in AL East, I think it's going to be the Rays will win, and then the Red Sox will get the wild card. In AL Central, I think it's going to be the White Sox. And I think that the Twins will get the wild card, or the Royals, maybe. In AL West, I think it's going to be the Astros, and I think that the Mariners, I'd say the Mariners or the Angels may get the wild card. And in NL East, I think the Braves are going to win, and I think the Mets or either the Phillies get the wild card. In NL Central, I think it's going to be the Brewers that win, and I think the Cardinals are going to get the wild card. In NL West, I think the Dodgers are going to win, and either the Padres or the Giants are going to get the wild card. But if I had to guess, I'd say it's probably going to be the Giants. I just don't think the Padres are going to be able to perform well enough to get the wild card, and the Giants always seem to overperform. That's just because I'm a Dodgers fan. And those are my predictions on who I think will win and who will get the wild card. Let me know what your predictions are. And thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.